So today's topic is going to be postpartum, which I feel like can be a very touchy topic for a whole bunch of women. And I know postpartum kind of hit you a little bit hard, right?
Yeah, in waves. And I can
Yeah.
say to this day it still kind of does, but I feel like I've got a little more understanding, not control, understanding of it.
Yeah, I feel like understanding is a big part of once you have a baby. Like, you have to really understand what it is like you're doing, because if you don't, it can be all jumbled. Once you everything is jumbled, well, at least for me, you get frustrated. I get frustrated. I get so
Yeah.
emotional. I cry, and it's just like hell.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that's how it is for me, because I'm a super emotional person. It doesn't seem like it, but I'm super emotional. Like,
Oh, wow.
my go-to is crying. I hate it, but that's my go-to. Like, I cry.
Oh,
I cry a
wow.
lot.
I would
Yeah.
never know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my go-to is crying, and that's what it was for me. And at first, I didn't think that it was postpartum. I just thought that I was frustrated, because when I get frustrated, before baby, I cried. That was my thing. So I never thought that I had any type of postpartum depression, because when you go to your OB, they give you like a checklist of things.
Oh yeah, that what's it called, like Murphy's questionnaire or
Yeah,
something like that.
that checklist, I felt like was normal. Like, everything I checked off, I was normal, because I didn't feel any of that,
Yeah.
because it says for the last 7 days. The last 7 days I was fine, but maybe that 8th day is when I really felt it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that checklist is kind of trash for
Yeah,
me.
I'm not gonna lie. When I answered that and I did see it said 7 days, I had the same thing. I was like, I've actually been okay this week. So I kind of threw that out the window because I answered it as how I had been feeling. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but it's kind of like you take it day by day kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could definitely tell you the week prior, total mess. The week after, total mess. But for some reason that week when I had to do that questionnaire, it's fine.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
like relatively fine.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like, it says, like, oh, have you ever thought about killing yourself? No. Like, are you a psychopath? Like, no. Like, I mean,
Have I wanted to pull my hair out? Yes.
Yes. Like, I know, I'm sure that there's women out there whose postpartum depression has, like, an all-time, like, high. And it's just, like, and it does hit them hard to maybe they get to that point. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I've never met another mom who's postpartum depression. Or, actually, I've never met another mom, to be honest with
Really?
you, other than my mom,
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I have a cousin who has 3 kids, and I've been there through, one pregnancy, but I felt like she didn't have that postpartum that I would know of. So, I never experienced anything like that. And I feel like in the Hispanic household, talking about like any type of mental health issue is like a taboo, and I feel like postpartum falls under that. So I never really knew anything about it until I kind of did my research later on in my pregnancy, because as I was ready to give birth, I did a lot of research as to what to expect. I never knew that. I feel like I had a hint of what it was, but I never knew that there was a 4th trimester.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what yeah, and I'm out of bed. Feels like pregnancy all over again. Yeah, I never knew that there was a 4th trimester, and I felt like that trimester kind of hit me hard, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was feeling. Like, I really didn't. I feel like, I don't know if my doctor should have explained it to me or what, but I just never knew exactly what postpartum depression was. I literally thought, like, you sit there, you cry, you're depressed,
Yeah.
And she did tell me, like, if you feel like you don't even want to get out of bed, then yeah, you're, postpartum depression. But I feel like it's way beyond that.
Yeah. There's a lot they don't really tell you, and I feel like some might think like, oh well, like you should do the research yourself, but like how you mentioned, it seems like it's such a taboo topic, like not just in like Hispanic households, but just like in general, because when I was pregnant, I watched a lot of YouTube of like mommy vloggers, and that's where I kind of learned a lot of things, but like I think there was really none about postpartum depression, and if I wanted to like learn about it, I really had to like type it in and like scroll deep or
do like a deep search about it.
Because it's kind of like, wow, how dare you feel depressed or sad, like you have a baby, like what's
it should be it's the happiest time of your life,
what is
like,
there to be sad about? And it's like there's so much like that goes on internally. Like it took, our bodies went through so much. Like we went through a lot of hormonal changes being pregnant. Like someone's like the psycho crazy moms, luckily I feel like Paulo said, like he said I was relatively pretty chill during pregnancy, but like, oh man, postpartum, like it hit me hard. And it was completely opposite of what I was anticipating. Because from what I've heard from other people who are kind of, you know, like, hey, you know, be careful, this might happen, is a lot of them say, like, oh, like, I feel so detached from my baby because they're not inside me anymore. I'm not pregnant. I don't feel them kicking and all that. Well, that wasn't the case for me because I truly didn't really enjoy pregnancy. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, kind of thing. Like, so I never felt detached from my baby. And that was, like, the first thing my OB asked during my, like, 6-week checkup was, like, do you feel like you don't want the baby around? And I'm like, no, not at all. Like, I'm attached to my child. It's nothing like that. It's where anybody who knows me knows I'm a very upbeat, excited, happy, very positive person. It takes a lot to really, like, drag me down. It takes a lot for me to think negatively. It takes a lot for me to express negative feelings.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I mean, I get angry, of course, but, like, to actually think negative thoughts, like, it takes a lot for me to get to that point. But oh man, like, the rush of hormones you get after having the baby, it is wild. Like, a roller coaster ride, like, doesn't even describe it.
It's insane. It's insane.
It was, like, to the point where I would have to, like, lie to Pal and be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Can you hold the baby?
Yeah.
And I would just, I literally would just sit on the toilet crying.
And
I
silence.
don't know.
And
And
silence,
like, I couldn't even, like, sob loud.
Because you don't want him to feel bad. Because you don't know what's wrong with you. But you have that feeling that you have to cry it out. And you don't know why.
And I don't know if you had, like, the same kind of thought I was had, but it was like, oh my God, like, my partner is now a new dad. He's dealing with a crying baby. We both don't know what we're doing. And now he has to deal with me crying and being emotional. Like, I felt like I had to hide it from him or keep it to myself or deal with it on my own because I was like, oh my God, like, I can't unload all this on him either, you know? And it was, like, maybe a good month into pregnancy until, like, there was just one day I guess I was in the bathroom for a really long time. And he was like, are you okay? You were in there for a long time. And I was like, and, like, prior to all of it, I was, like, in denial. Like, I didn't want to admit to myself because I kind of felt defeated. I thought I was going to feel defeated.
Yeah.
You know, because...
Like, to admit it?
Yeah.
Like,
Because the main thing that caused my, my depression was I couldn't breastfeed. I had, like, a really hard time with it. And still to this day, it still kind of bugs me a little bit that I can't. But in the other hand, I'm like, you know, my baby's fed. He's happy.
Exactly.
He's healthy. He's gaining weight.
And he's such a good baby. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he's perfectly fine.
So, yeah, like, that. And, you know, what's crazy is I didn't even want to breastfeed in the beginning.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
For this specific reason is I have seen and heard so many stories of women who say, like, oh, it was the worst, you know, and it caused this exact thing for them. So I was like, you know, I don't want to put that added pressure or stress on myself. Like, I'm a first-time mom. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. I was a formula baby, and I turned out fine, I think.
Yeah, no,
I think I'm all right. I think I'm pretty okay. So, you know, I was like, I didn't want that pressure on myself. But somehow, I don't want to say I got talked into breastfeeding. I guess you could say I kind of got persuaded into it.
Okay.
Unknowingly, I got persuaded. Next thing you know, I'm registering for a breast pump and the Haka and this and that. And no.
You just didn't want to breastfeed?
No, I, you know, when I got everything, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's try. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I Googled, like, foods to, like, keep her supply up and this and that. And I tried so hard for up until he was almost 2 months. Like, I really tried, and every day it was just like mentally so defeating. Like, I would just sit and cry with these pumps attached to my stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there alone, away from the baby, and, you know, I'm just, like, crying because after 20-30 minutes of pumping, maybe total 1 ounce would come out.
Yeah.
Total. And I'm like, wow, and then I would feel so upset because I'm like, wow, like, I can't do what my body's supposed to do. My baby's not eating. You know, I have to make sure he gets formula because it was just a disaster.
Yeah.
So that's, like, caused my downward spiral, basically. And then, yeah, one day I guess I came out of the bathroom and he looked at me. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, I think I have postpartum depression. I'm not sure. But from what I've been reading, I definitely have all the signs. Like, there were days I didn't even want to get out of bed. But I knew I had to because the baby's crying. Or I knew I had to because I didn't want to make it seem like there was anything wrong.
Yeah.
There were days, up until 2.5 months, I had no appetite.
Oh, really?
I could not eat. I would have to force myself to eat, like, one meal. And that definitely played a big role in not being able to breastfeed because you need those extra calories, you know? So there was just a lot going on. But definitely, like, once I admitted it to myself, and then I admitted it to Paulo, it was like, it kind of felt like a sense of like, oh, relief. Like I don't have to hide anything anymore. I can just cry and just like know that I'm not going to be judged or ask questions. But the hardest thing for me was when Pao would ask me like, is there anything I can do? Like, what's wrong? Can we talk about it? And I'm like,
there's literally nothing you can do.
And it was like this, like, it's like, how are you crying but you don't know what's wrong is like what I'm thinking to myself, you know? And it's like
it's such a helpless feeling.
Yeah, it was just wild. It was just like, wow. I don't cry nearly as much. I might feel like I'm getting emotional now and I feel like tears coming on. I kind of hold it back now. I've learned to start doing some things that have like just re-sparked my interest in life again. I know that sounds horrible, but you know, like re-sparked my interest in things that like I enjoyed doing before. And even, you know, it's just like going to Target, like not buying anything, but like just walking around, getting out, giving myself 1 hour away from the baby kind of thing, you know, give myself a little recharge. And it's really helped a lot. And that's also like why I wanted to do this podcast, was because I needed like another little, I needed something else, you know. Like, did you feel the same way?
With the whole postpartum thing, like I felt like I got the whole going into the bathroom and hiding, because you don't want to like, how do you say it? Because they ask you like, what's wrong? Are you okay? What can I do to help? There's nothing you can do, unfortunately. I'm not saying like there's nothing you can do, because I don't want you to help. But there's
I don't know if I knew what to do to help I would myself. Be doing it myself, you know?
Like, exactly. And I felt like, I don't get emotional. Oh my goodness! Like I tell you, like I'm a crybaby.
Okay.
I'm a crybaby.
Is this a safe space?
Usa. I think because with Zoe, like she wasn't gaining weight in the beginning, and it kind of scared me, and like I get like these bursts, like emotional, like little, you know, and it sucked because I wasn't producing, and I felt like, oh, you have to breastfeed, you know, you have to. And I think also because there's people in my ear saying, well, are you gonna breastfeed? Well, you have to breastfeed, you know. And I it sucked because I tried, as much as I tried to kind of put those voices behind me, I couldn't.
They always wind up resurfacing. When you announced you were pregnant, how many people flooded your DMs with like, are you gonna breastfeed? Are you gonna vaccinate? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that?
Yes.
Like, let me enjoy like
the text, the phone calls, just the everything, and it's so overwhelming. It really is.
And I don't think people realize like how rude, or is rude the right word? Like how aggressive and unnecessary it is to like ask someone those questions like, yo, I just found out I'm pregnant.
And sometimes I feel like maybe I'm like the one being like kind of oversensitive about it. Like am I being like a wuss about it? Like just take it, like not take it, but kind of like, okay, listen about it and just kind of let it like go. But I can't do that because I'm such an emotional person. Like you can see the emotions on my face, and as much as I try to hide it, I can't. I've always been like that. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and that's just how I've always been. So when people tell me, I'm just like, fuck off, dude. Like, like, you know, and it's like people close to me that even tell me, like, are you going to breastfeed? Well, you have to breastfeed. Like, first of all, I don't have to do anything that you tell me to do.
Yeah.
If I can breastfeed, I'm going to try. But if I can't, I can't. And that was my problem in the beginning, kind of, where I wasn't producing as much as I should. It's just kind of losing weight, you know? So that kind of scared me, and that's what kind of, like, triggered the emotion and everything. But, once I saw, okay, she's gaining weight. She's doing.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would stuff my face with everything, everything that I felt like was gonna help me produce. And I felt like in the beginning I was doing so well. I'd have 4 or 5 bottles in the fridge ready for it.
That's awesome.
And I was feeling great about it. I was like, okay, cool, I'm doing it. But now, like, sorry, I feel like now, I'm not producing as much anymore. But I don't know if it's because she's just eating on demand versus, like I don't know. It's such a tricky thing. And I felt like the whole breastfeeding thing kind of fed into my postpartum because, like, I just felt like, fuck, I can't do this. Like, it's hard. Breastfeeding is no joke, dude.
Really
it's not.
Hard. And, like, wow, like, I knew going into it that, like, it's not something everybody can do. Just because from my mother's experience, all 5 of us, she was never able to. So we were all formula fed.
Yeah.
So I went into it knowing that it's, you know, like, it's not something that every woman is capable of doing. You know? Just like not every woman is able to naturally conceive, you know? There's just things that are there's things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
So I went in thinking like if there's only one thing I can control out of like this whole parenting, pregnancy thing, it was that. And somehow I lost it along the way, and then it's rough. It's super rough. But like not even just breastfeeding, but just like postpartum in general, like you had C-section, I had vaginal delivery, so like we had pain in different areas, and it was
goodness.
Like, whoa, like it's like, but for some reason, did you feel like you had like, no matter how much pain you were in, you felt like you had like super strength and you were able to just do things?
Like the next, I want to say, I don't know if it, so we came home on a Tuesday. My mom came over, my mother-in-law was here, and I was hanging out with them on the sofa, and I didn't want to move too much because of my cut. And I was thinking, like, maybe I don't feel the pain because I just got out of the hospital. They gave me the good stuff. Like, maybe that's why I don't feel the pain. So the next day, my dad's side of the family came over, my sister, my stepmom. And I was walking. I didn't notice it, really, but I was kind of walking hunched over. And I was walking. I felt like I was walking fine. They're like, are you, it's like, sit down, relax. You know, you got to sit down. You got to relax. But it's like, I can't. I have guests. I have a baby. Like, and I felt like every day I was doing something to where I wasn't relaxing. So I feel like maybe that's also another thing that fed into that, because I wasn't healing as quick as I felt like I should have.
Yeah, and you're playing host at the same time.
Yeah.
You're sleep deprived. You're everything that you're used to doing. It's just like, dang, like I can't even go to the bathroom without even worrying if the baby's gonna cry. If they're, you know, like, and you know, newborns, they literally sleep the whole day. Like the first month or so. So, you know, but like in your head, you're just like overanalyzing.
You're just worried about everything. I
overanalyze. And I come from a mindset of just kind of like, la la la, no big deal. Like, but the minute I found out I was pregnant, the minute the baby came out, it was like structure. And for me, I felt like the baby needs a schedule. The baby needs structure. And if it got thrown off, my day was ruined because I was like attached. This is when I was still trying to pump too and breastfeed. So I was like, I gotta feed him. Then after I feed, I gotta try to pump. And you know, he wakes up every 3 hours and this and that. And it was like, dang, in that time span, I would maybe have 20, 30, 40 minutes maybe of me time. And in that me time of not trying to breastfeed, taking care of the baby, pumping, what was I doing? House cleaning.
Yep.
Laundry.
Yep. Running
errands. And not to mention, like, the first 2 weeks of my child's life, every day I was going to urgent care or a pediatrician to get his blood work done. So it was like, where's the time to, when the baby sleeps, you sleep?
You can't. You just can't. And it's hard.
Now I live that life. Now I'm like, the laundry's done, leave it.
Yeah.
The dishes in the sink, leave it. Baby sleeping, I'm sleeping.
You know,
or at least chilling.
Yeah, you know, I think I've been lucky in the mornings with Zoe because she is pretty good with sleeping in now. And I feel so happy about that because I can get up, I can do whatever it is I need to do in the morning. Since I got my new vacuum, I've been vacuuming every morning. I've been like putting stuff away so that way, like, I'm actually up at a clean house. You know, I love waking up to a clean house. I love going to sleep with a clean house. And I don't know, I feel like that makes me feel like, okay, I did something,
it's
you
like
know?
the little things.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, throughout your day of I don't want to just say motherhood, but parenthood in general, like, there is a million and one things that are going to go wrong, that are not going to go according to your plan. They're just not going to happen. But damn, that one little thing you do, damn, it just it hits right.
Oh,
it just
my God,
hits in a different way.
And I used to hate cleaning before. I used to hate it. Like it was such a chore for me. But now I love it because it gives me like such a sense of relief.
Yeah.
That I feel like, oh yeah, I did it. I did something good. Like my sofa's clean. Oh hell yeah, I can lay down my sofa. You know what I mean?
I didn't wash them, but they're in the dishwasher. Hell yeah. Bottles are sanitized. You know that good stuff.
Yeah. But postpartum, man, it's a whole nother fucking.
It's an animal.
It's its own little beast and it's just, and you know what? And I feel like it didn't hit me as hard as some people.
Yeah, I feel like I caught it or I recognized signs early enough because of what everybody told me to look out for. Some things didn't apply to me, but some definitely did. And when I noticed, I was like, dang, maybe it's because I'm sleep deprived. Let me give it another couple days. You know, maybe it's just because I still got a lot of hormones. Like, I didn't realize the hormones, still to this day. My baby is about to be 12 weeks in a couple days, like 5 days. And I still feel like I have a rush of hormones and emotions. Like, there's just some days, like, I'm just like...
And you recognize that rush, like, shit, it's coming. Like, at least that's how you know.
Yeah, like, you kind of feel like getting a hot flash, or maybe, like, you're, you know, like, has your blood sugar ever dropped and you get a little shaky?
Oh, my God.
Or anxious.
The last week of my pregnancy, it always around noon, I had that. Like, to the point where I had to, like, hold on to the wall because I felt so bad. There's one time, I think I was cleaning. I don't know what I was doing, and I was sitting down, and like literally started dripping in sweat. I was sitting down, like I don't feel good, and I was pregnant.
Oh my
So I was
God.
like, what the fuck is happening? Like I've never felt that before. So I'm like fanning myself off, and I'm sitting down, like I don't feel good. Like what do I do? Like I'm burning up. I told him I don't feel good. And he was like, here, drink some water. I drank some ice cold water.
Eat something. Huh?
So what I did was I went to go lay down. Danny had a showing, so he had to leave right there and then. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Like, go. I got up, holding onto the walls. I ate some Captain Crunch because thinking like I need some sugar.
Yeah.
And I ate it as quick as I can because I'm like my hand was just just so heavy. I felt. I ate it, put it in the sink, went to bed. And I knocked out for hours.
Dang.
That's the first time I ever felt like a sense of hormone rush. And it was like I was dying. I felt like, fuck, I'm dying. It was bad. I didn't realize how bad it can be.
I didn't have that experience during pregnancy, probably because I didn't have to work. Mm-hmm. So because of, COVID and all that. So I literally took advantage of the sleep. There was more hours in the day that I slept than there were on my feet.
Aww.
I was also sick for the majority of it. Mm-hmm. But after, oh my gosh, like, did you ever experience, or maybe still to this day, postpartum anxiety? And that is a real thing. I Googled it. And postpartum anger is a real thing too. Have you experienced any of
anxiety for sure, because I'm already an anxious person. Like that first night home, I bawled my eyes out. And I remember telling Danny, like, I don't know why I'm crying. But I was crying because I felt like my baby was going to die. I don't know why.
The night nurse was right there.
So I was so anxious all night. And what made me even more anxious was that I had a C-section. So I couldn't get up as quickly as I needed to if I needed to get to her, So that night was the worst. I mean, as the nights went on, it slowly went away. But to this day, there's times where I wake up in the middle of the night. I look, like, is she breathing? Once I see that chest rising, I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I go back to sleep.
I think every mother's like that.
I think so too. But it's such a... I feel like I sound crazy, or like if I look crazy, because there's times where Danny wants to switch sides with me. He's like, here, I'll sleep on your side so I can take care of it tonight. I have to tell him, like, no, you need to back away. This is my side.
Talk about looking crazy and having like postpartum anxiety. So like ever since getting pregnant, you've seen those baby snatcher videos like getting reposted and all this nonsense on your social.
Time.
Yeah, perfect timing, right? It's like no one has anything better to do in COVID than to post scary shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like everybody got pregnant during COVID.
Oh my God. There's going to be a like overflow of COVID babies.
So after having Zane and like being brave enough to like go out on my own with him, I have this fear. Or even like not even going out alone, like even with Pal, like in the stroller, we go out to eat, you have to sit outside kind of situation. My hand is like on the stroller. I'm like eating my food, like looking around, like you're too close to my baby kind of thing. And I'm always like checking on him, like where's he gonna go? Like he's literally right here. I'm always peeking in, like making sure he's okay. But when I'm alone and I'm coming out of a store, especially at night, I probably look like a psycho coming out because I'm like because I wear him majority of the time when I'm by myself. I'm wearing him in the carrier and I'm still like holding him and I'm like running to my car.
No, I feel like you have to do that.
I probably look like I just stole something from Target.
Oh my God.
But I'm just trying to get to my car. It's just my baby. I'm trying to get to my car.
But you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry.
I can't handle.
And I feel like being like, it's the ones that are not paying attention are the ones that get taken advantage of. So if someone were, God forbid, do something like that to you, they're like, oh shit, she's aware of her surroundings. We're not going to touch her. At least that's what I'm hoping. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's the ones that aren't crazy that are going to get taken advantage of. Because I'm like that too. I try not to show it because Danny's more like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, guys don't have to worry. Guys don't have that sense of fear because who's going to like kidnap a big old buff dude?
Yeah, that's true.
Who's gonna try to kidnap a dude that looks like he benches, weight? Like both our men are built well. Yeah, it's like I was gonna try and snatch them, but like, I mean,
have you seen that study? There's like a little quick thing I saw on Instagram where there's a study where a professor asked the guys in the class, like, what do you guys do in order to prevent a sexual encounter or sexual attack. And the guy's like, well, we don't think about that. But then the girls are like, we check our back seats before we get in the car. I hold my keys as a weapon. I have pepper spray.
Do you walk with your key?
I do.
I always have, even if it's in my pocket, like I'll hide it, but I always have like, it's always my car key for some reason. Like I should probably switch it up because I need that key to get away. My mail key's pretty jagged, like
hefty.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, and you know, Danny always wants me to walk around with some type of like protection, not a gun. I know protection sounds crazy when I say that, but like a little like knife or little, what do we call it, pocket knife? You know, because there's crazy people out there. I see, you know, like you said, like a lot of videos like that were popping up on my feed too. And every time I saw it, like I would tell Danny, like, we have a little girl, like this is crazy, you know, and the little girl, like, I mean, not necessarily just little girls, but kids, the babies, they're going after them, and it's crazy. Like, I would kill a motherfucker if they try to take my baby,
my God,
you know?
if you just look in my direction for too long,
God.
like, my baby, like, excuse me? Like, you better be telling me my baby's cute, because if those words don't come out of your mouth, and you just stare.
Do you listen to the Crime Junkie podcast or something like that? It's this podcast where they talk about like unsolved murders, and their slogan is be rude, be disrespectful, stay alive. You know? And that's absolutely 100%
like, why
true.
am I going to be nice to someone who's like making me feel uncomfortable?
Exactly. You be rude. I don't give I'm going to tell my daughter this. You know, and another thing that I say, I know I'm going all over the place, but another thing is that I love, which I feel like people are going to find disrespectful, but I do not give a fuck, is if my daughter does not want to hug you, you know how people are like, oh, go hug them. Go say hi to your tia. Go say hi to your
Give
tío.
me a hug.
Give me a hug.
Kiss.
And my
Give
daughter
your
says
auntie
no.
a kiss.
She's not going to do that because I want her to be aware that she's okay to say no if you feel uncomfortable. Why is my daughter saying no to you? What did you do to her to make her feel uncomfortable? You know? Or maybe she's being a brat that day. Okay, whatever. Just don't be rude.
Respect them. They're little people. They have feelings and opinions.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kids are going to tell it to you like how it is.
Oh,
they don't have a filter. They're so honest. You want the truth about something, you ask your toddler, hey,
how am I
what mommy gave me for Christmas? Oh, where's mommy hiding the money? I'm waiting for a ring, you know. Zane, where's daddy hiding the ring?
I'm waiting for
Where's daddy hiding that diamond?
Pal, we're waiting for you.
Pal.
Intense. And you know, I know this is the topic turned completely, but I think it's super like I don't know,
relevant?
It is, you know.
Well, because those are the things that cause us stress and anxiety.
Yeah. Another thing that I read, and another one of my friends on Instagram, actually, her and I were talking about it, was to talk about your children's privates with their proper name.
Yes, not like we.
Yeah, do not give them nicknames. And I completely agree with what she said because, first of all, that's exactly what their names are. It's a penis, it's a vagina. But once my child comes to me and calls it some type of nickname, I'm going to ask her, who taught you that? Exactly.
Yeah,
who is talking to you about this?
I don't call it that.
And the person, if she tells me it's this person, I'm going to jail that day. I am going to jail that day.
Yeah.
I probably sound crazy. I probably sound like...
Fair warning, everybody.
Yes. I probably sound crazy. I probably sound like I'm going to be in jail in 2 years or something, but I will kill for my daughter. I am telling you right now, nothing bad is going to happen to her. And on top of that, she's going to take jujitsu.
Careful.
Yes, PSA, people, PSA. Yeah. It's just like things like that. And I know it sounds like I'm literally speaking what I've been thinking the last few months. Like, I feel like this is how I've been thinking, and this is what's causing my anxiety because the world is such a scary place that, like, people are just off their rockers, and it's just fucking insane how people can be. And some of them think, like, it's okay. Like that law, I don't know if it's a law or what it is that they passed, that you're allowed to have sexual relations with someone that is 10 years younger than you. Or something in that.
Like minors?
Yeah.
As long as, because it's consent?
I don't know if it's consensual or you won't be charged as much. It's like something in that. Have you heard of that?
No.
As soon as I saw that in California, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Talking about love is love. Fuck off. Like, you're insane. You're sick in the head. You're sick in the head. Yeah. And if you're one of those people that are like that and you're listening to this, you can fuck off. I'm sorry. You can. I'm not up for that. And I do not deal with that.
It's just so crazy because, like, these are things, like, I never thought of before having a child. I mean, I obviously know right from wrong. I know how to treat a child.
Yes.
Like, you know, like, things like that. But, like, actually having to worry about these things now, like, I don't know about you, but I don't want childcare or daycare.
Yeah.
You know, like
my gosh, that scares me.
My mother, my father. Though I mean, those are the closest ones that Pal and I have. Like, you know, if like if his parents were closer, obviously they'd be babysitting too. But it's like, I don't trust anybody else. Like,
no.
Especially some freaking stranger. Fuck off. Hell no.
That scares me.
Absolutely not.
That's what scares me about me going back to work is, are we gonna have to do daycare? And if we're gonna have to do daycare, there's no one I trust.
You gotta get your mom, your mom and your mother-in-law. Like,
and they all live so far. So I'm telling Danny, like, what are we gonna do? Like, I'm sorry, if I have to go back to the office, you are gonna have to take care of her. And luckily
Danny can kind of work from home too.
And I'm so like grateful that his schedule is so flexible like that. Oh my goodness. But on the days that he can't be flexible, I don't know what I want to do. Like, it scares me. I do not want to put her in daycare. One, it's expensive.
Oh, no. So expensive for what? For them to nap?
Yes.
You're paying for a nap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Paying for nap and food that you're
bringing. That better
bringing.
be a golden nap.
You're paying for food that you are already providing.
And two, I don't trust them. Like, I don't. I mean, I know there's people out there that have to do daycare, and I'm not saying like you guys are horrible parents because you're putting them in daycare.
It's personal preference.
Yeah, and it's my anxiety going into play with the whole daycare situation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think like.
Yeah, when I have to cross that bridge when it comes, like, luckily Pal and I, we are able to pick our schedules. We both work 12-hour shifts. The only thing that we both work nights. It'd be different if like I work the nights, he worked the morning, because we would always like
switch
get
off.
each other in passing. There's like 2 hours in between. I don't want to work at 5 a.m. though. That's really early.
Yeah, that's
really
a little too much.
I'd rather get off at 5:30 a.m. than have to start my day at 5 a.m.
Yeah. No,
but I'm not a morning person. But yeah, those are the things that like, it's just like, man, once you cross one hurdle, like the postpartum, you know, like, and the depression and the anxiety, it's like a new thing starts. Like,
yeah.
Zane is already starting to, that kid's trying to roll over already.
I saw
and
that.
I'm like, excuse me, sir, I like to swaddle you. I don't know how I'm going to do this because swaddling is the only way you'll sleep. I'm on a next level. And then, you know, I hear that 4-month sleep regression is a thing, and I'm not ready for that because that's when I go back to work.
I heard that it's 3 months, no?
I think it's,
or is it 4?
I think it's every
month. Yeah, it's every month, every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm telling Danny, like, as much as people do not like the lockdown, I love
am appreciating it. Oh my God. COVID and having a child have really taught me how to appreciate and take it day by day and not to take things. Okay, we've been having some pretty heavy conversations right now, but to not take things so seriously and to just like not try to control everything. Like, I'm just trying to take everything day by day because you know what? There is going to come a day coming soon that I am going to have to go to work and I'm going to have to be away from my child for 12 hours. And the father of my child still asks me where the diapers are.
Oh, no, I can't. I gave Danny a tutorial of the room. I had to tell him, come with me. I had to tell him, follow me.
You want to talk about anxiety? My baby daddy is what gives me anxiety. I love you, pal. But dear Lord.
Number one source.
Dear Lord. I still get asked, where's the bath towels? Where's the diaper refills? Where's the wipies? I'm like, yo, it's the same drawer.
Yeah.
Where's this? Where's that? Let me tell you where he does know where the things are. Anything that's Nike. Anything that's Nike hanging up in the closet.
Nike diapers, Nike wipies.
Yeah,
Nike.
I should just slap a swoosh on everything.
A little swoosh
on everything. Anything Nike, that man knows where it's at. But
right.
If it's not like out in plain sight for him, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Probably put labels. I wanted to put labels, but
no.
I was like, nah,
no.
let me not. I was like, I think he'll figure it out. But I legit had to give him a tour of the room. This is where the bibs are. This is where the swaddles are.
Pat will have one rough night, probably. And he'll learn from his mistakes, and then he'll take note.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I mean, if it's slow at work, maybe I can answer his phone calls. But yeah, talk about, like real anxiety coming up, like that's like,
yeah, that's a big thing. That is a big thing.
Because I hate repeating myself.
Yeah.
And I've told him so many times. He's almost 3 months now.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to say it's
I
funny.
love you. I'm so sorry.
You're good. I swear you're good.
We can edit that
out. And you know, I don't want to say it's funny, but when she was first born and I brought her home, one of the first things I cried about was going back to work. And I'm thinking, like, I have months that I go back to work. Why am I crying about it? I go back to work in January.
Me too.
I can't.
My mic. Me too. I'm not ready.
I'm not. But luckily, I'm sorry. I'm working from home still.
Okay, that's good.
So, but like I'm constantly texting my coworkers, "Hey, are we still working from home?" They're like, "Yeah." And one of them, she gave me like the biggest peace of mind. She was like, "Honestly, it doesn't seem like we're going to work for a long. I'm to the office for a long time." And I said, "Thank God," because what am I going to do? Like the anxiousness of having to give her to someone else gives me the shits. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes me so nervous. I get bubble guts. Like it's so bad. And Danny always tells me like I have self-induced anxiety, which
we probably do.
I probably do. Like I give it to myself. Yeah,
we work ourselves up over things you can't control.
Yeah, but it's like something I'm literally like worried about. You know what I mean? Like it's not my fault. It's just the way I am, and that's just the way I handle it. Like I get bubble guts when I'm nervous. Like you know what I mean? But it's like that is gonna be one. I know for sure I'm gonna cry at work once I get there because I'm such a crybaby. I
feel like I will too, especially because I love my nighttime routine with the baby. And I always do it. Like I always give him. I give him a bath. We read a book. We kind of cuddle a little bit. Put him down. Give him his bottle. Like I'm gonna miss that because I spend every night with him. Because I take care of him at night all the time when Pao goes to work. Like, that's just our time together. So it's like I'm definitely gonna miss that. I'm gonna be like, did you give him a bath? Did you clean behind his ear? Did you do this? Did you do that? I'll be like, give me a video.
And you know, give me a video.
FaceTime me.
You know, it's so funny. Even when I go out to run an errand by myself, I'm constantly texting Danny. How is she? Did she drink? Did she eat her milk? Is she good? Like, is she sleeping? What is she doing? He was like, she's fine. I'm like, okay, but I want more than that. Give me the details. Like, is she snoring? Like, what is she doing?
Is she tooting?
Is one of her eyes open? Like, what's happening?
Is she, like, peaceful?
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other women out there that are like that, but I don't know if there's, like, a majority of them. Is it just, like, a little small percentage of us that we can just huddle around and talk about this?
I'm sure, like, every first-time mother having to go back to work or leave their child with somebody is feeling some sort. It's not just us, but you know, like we said at the beginning, like all this stuff is kind of taboo. You know, like it's kind of like, ooh, like don't talk about it. It's too sensitive.
And I feel like if you talk about it, people think you're complaining, or people think that you're like crying about it.
No, I'm so beyond blessed and grateful that I was even able to naturally conceive a child, yet he wasn't planned right now. But you know, like I'm like, wow, like it's such a blessing that I was able to do that. Yeah. Like, but like, don't harsh on me because I have certain feelings and emotions. Like I'm a human. Like I would love to see any man go through what a woman's body and mind, her freaking mental state goes through. Yeah. And not just postpartum, but pregnancy too. A lot of people don't realize that pregnancy takes a big toll on you. Yeah. Like mentally having to like, whoa, my body went from this to this, and then postpartum, you have to be like, wow, my body went from pregnant to like cute baby bump, everything's still tight, it's round, but it's tight, and now you just...
Oh my God, that's gonna be another good topic to talk about, is that bounce back, because there's no bounce back. Yeah. Let me tell you, that's gonna be another good one, to be honest. Yeah, because I got lots to talk about with that.
Yeah, and you know what, a friend of mine asked a question on our prompt. It was, how do you deal with or cope with the physical changes that come along with having a baby? And that we can totally talk about it at that. Yeah, I have a lot to say. You got a lot to say because we both went through different things. Yeah. So that will be like really good.
Saved. That's saved for next time. Well, this is a great one. Yeah. I feel like I got a lot off my chest with this one. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
I feel like I vented because I feel like I can only vent so much to Pao before it's kind of like I'm talking in circles. I'm saying the same thing. Yeah. But it's like literally a daily thing, you know? Yeah. So it's kind of nice. We have like...
I like the back and forth on this one because we felt the same things at
different stages,
yeah, and I felt like at different intense levels, I guess you can say, you know what I mean? But it's so good to understand each other when it comes to this because, like you said, like I can talk to Danny about it, which is fine, but then there's sometimes where like he doesn't understand as much because he doesn't understand. He can't relate to it. Unfortunately, as much as I would want him to, he can't because he doesn't have the hormones we have or the hormone like freaking intensity that we have, you know? Definitely. It's insane. It's insane. It's crazy. And I'm sorry, ladies, but you will go through it. Yeah. Everyone goes through it. And
my biggest advice, unsolicited, didn't even ask me for advice, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, is recognize the signs and put your ego aside, put your pride aside, and just say, hey. Yeah. Because the minute I put my pride and my ego aside and I was ready to like admit to myself
everything got better.
It slowly started to get better.
Yeah.
And I can say that, like, after I had my meeting with the doctor and everything, and I just talked about it more, I'm a lot more open about it. Oh, it's night and day. It's night and day. I mean, yes, you're still gonna have those days. It's an uphill battle, and your baby's gonna go to sleep on time. Your baby's gonna eat. Everything's gonna be on schedule. Like, your baby's been an angel all day, but yet you'll still be in a funk.
Yeah.
And you don't know why.
Yep.
And there's those days, and you know what? When you recognize it, accept it.
Yeah, and it, like you said, it does make you feel so much better. Like, I feel like my funk was, like I said, crying. You know, like I'm gonna say this 100 times probably on this podcast, but I am a huge. You know, I cried at work one time.
Why?
Because I had my period. I'm homo. I get super
God.
homo. I'm a crybaby. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Yeah, story of my life. But like, when I felt like I was okay to cry in front of Danny, that's when I started feeling better. Because I used to hold it in. Because I don't like crying in front of Danny. Because I felt like, why am I crying? That's so stupid. Like, held it in, you know? But one time I was like, okay, I'm crying. He knows I'm crying. He knows why. Like, he knows. I feel like he got to the point where he knew, like, okay, this is one of her hormonal things. Like, I'm going to help her. Like, he hugs me. He'll kiss me. Like, little things like that.
Like, they just kind of are a little more cautious of, like, what they say, what they do. Like, they're a little more tentative to understanding. Yeah. And you know what? Like, guys, postpartum depression is a real thing for men too. I was talking to Pal about it, and I asked him, because like one day we just both were in a funk, and I couldn't tell if he was in a funk because I was in a funk, and we were just having bad vibes with each other. Like, and Zane, perfect angel that whole day, but like I just was like, ugh, the weather wasn't great. I've been stuck in the apartment for 3 days because he worked 3 shifts back to back, and I was just not having it. I was like so over the day. And I wanted to go to the post office before it closed. Pal wanted to get in a run before it got dark. And it was just like, I was waiting for you to wake up so I can leave the baby because I didn't want to just take him down the street, you know. And it was like, I wanted to run when I woke up, and it was like neither one of us were gonna get what we wanted, kind of thing. And then I asked him, I was like, are you in a funk? Like, are you mad at me? Or are you just like not having a good day? And he's like, no, like, I think, he's like, I'm in a funk, you know, and he's like, I have those days too, but like, you know, like, it's nowhere near like as bad as you get them. He's like, but yeah, like, I do get kind of in a funk. I do get down. Sometimes I'm like, man, like I just can't go do some of the things that I always used to do. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like, it's like, I know if I say I want to go do it, you'll watch the baby, but then I feel bad that like you've been stuck in the house for 3 days, and now you have that one chance to get out, and now I'm keeping you in. You know, it's kind of like.
Danny says that same exact thing. That's so funny. He says, because you know he runs too, and I try to, because I know, like he said, like I know that he can get in a funk too because he's so used to his schedule of working out and running and doing what he wants. But now, because I have the baby, he's kind of like, in the beginning, he was always attending to me and the baby because, you know, with my C-section, I couldn't do much. So he was always having to do something with me and the baby. It was rarely him. So when I got better, I was always tell him, like, go on a run, you know. I'll take care of the baby in the morning, go on a run, and go wake up early if you need to, like, do what you got to do. Because I could tell that he was kind of getting in that funk, too.
Cabin fever.
But he would never admit it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, men, as much as pride that we think we have as women, men have it so much more because it's like, and you know, I feel really bad, and I always apologize to Pal when I would get in those funks because it's like, I'm so sorry I'm feeling like this, and I can't control it, and I'm just letting it out on you. If you ever feel a certain way, don't feel like you can't express your feelings to me because I'm in a funk. Like, I'm gonna be in a funk regardless if you're happy or sad or what. Like, it's just how I'm feeling. Like, and I'm not afraid to tell you anymore, like, how I'm feeling, so you have to tell me. And ever since I like open that line of communication with them, because I told him, I was like, dang, like, I feel selfish, you know, like I feel so selfish that like I'm not considering your feelings or how you're feeling, because, you know, like, you just pick up, go run, go do whatever, go to the gym, you know, like things like that, and like we can't go do, well, because of COVID mainly, but other, like, obviously because of the baby, you know, it's like I feel bad, you know. And at the beginning he was always like noticing if I was in a funk, and he'd be like, let's get out of the house, let's go for a walk. Like, he was always trying to make me feel better, that I never noticed if he was feeling okay. in a way too. So now I'm always like, oh, go for a run, I got it. Are you gonna work out? I'll stay out of the living room, like, me and the baby will go do our thing, you know, like, And now I'm not afraid to take the baby out with me.
Mm-hmm.
Before I would be like, oh, Pal's not with me. I don't know if I can handle it kind of thing. Now I'm just like, come on, baby, let's go.
You know, I still have that feeling of not being able to go out with the baby, just me and her. I don't think we've ever gone out just me and her.
Really?
Yeah.
I told myself, you got to get over it, or else you're never going to get out of the house when you're alone.
Yeah. And you know what? Well, I don't want to say this is like another reason why. I'm pretty sure I'm just kind of like waiting on it. I don't know why. But, I mean, I like to stay home either way.
Oh, your homebody?
Yeah, super. Like, I'm okay with staying home, but there's times where I just want to go out. Like, whether it's Marshall's, my fave store ever. Marshall's Home Goods. Yep. But, you know, I still haven't gone out with her. And I always say, like, oh, I'm okay at home, with, like, staying at home. You know, I don't need to go out. But I feel like maybe I do, like you said, just get over it and go do it. Because if not, I'm never going to do it. But I always have Danny, though. You know what I mean?
But I'm also very cautious of when and where I take the baby out because of COVID, because you can't wear a mask. And if I'm taking him out and I'm by myself, when I wear him, I bring that like car seat cover thing and I wear it over me just because he can't wear a mask.
Yeah.
And I feel so selfish, like, oh, like I can wear a mask but he can't, you know, like I try to cover him, I try to protect him, because there are times like I have to go out, I have to get things done, and if I wait until after the third day Pal works, it's like, dang, we got no toilet paper, we got none of this, we got none of that. Like, you have to go, you have to get out.
So it's like today, for example, for today in the morning, we went to Target. We try to go when they first open, so it's empty. You know what I mean?
First open or when they're about to close.
Yes, exactly. Because there's not too many people around. Like you said, they can't wear masks, but she has her little swaddle over the car seat. But I feel so bad. Like today, I told you she was very vocal at Target. But she had her little swaddle, and I think she was vocal because she couldn't see us.
She wanted to see.
Yeah, and I think when she did see us, we had our mask, so she had a big old wide eyes, like, who are you guys?
I see those eyes, but who are you?
I don't see the rest of you, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. Like, you have to kind of schedule it around them. And then there's times where I tell Daddy, you know what, it's such a hassle to put her in the car seat, put her in the car.
Especially because we don't have garages attached. Like, you got to walk downstairs, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And sometimes it is easier to just wait until you can go alone. But there are those days you're like, I gotta get out. Yeah. I take the baby or not, I gotta get out.
Yeah, I agree.
But I feel really good that we had this conversation.
Yeah, me too, because I feel like a therapy session.
Yeah. I feel like that's what this podcast is gonna be. It's just gonna be
this is a good one. Yeah,
get your coffee, get your snacks, get your blanket, get cozy.
Get a little fire going on.
Should I get an app? And get a fire. But I think we'll end this.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, I think it's a good place to end next week's episode. I think it's gonna be really good as well.
If you have any suggestions or tips, meant to mention this. This is a judge-free zone. We're not gonna have any mom shaming over here.
We don't do that.
If you do have a comment, keep it courteous, keep it like just be nice about it. And if I'm not expecting like a million comments right away, but if someone says something you don't like, just be nice about it, because we're all learning, we're all
yeah.
That's all I can say is
I was gonna say, like,
no mom shaming over here.
I'm the type of person, like, if you're gonna be rude to me, I tend to be rude back. I know that's not the bigger person type of.
We're secretly spicy over here.
Oof.
I don't look like it, but I'm a spicy person.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah, comment down below any suggestions or questions or anything that you want. Also, you can slide on our DMs.
Yes.
At the_mompod. And also follow us on our personal pages. Everything will be linked down in the description box. Description bar. Whatever.
I say the description below.
The description below.
Yeah.
Okay, everything will be linked in the description below. And thanks for joining in on another episode of The Mom Pod.
Bye.